Next, we're going to travel to the outer surface of the cell, the extracellular environment, and look at a few interesting structures there. We'll begin with plants. Plant cells are surrounded by these thick cell walls. So how do they connect together? How can they transfer things between cells? Well, they often have these little connections between them, these little channels known as plasmodesmata. That's what allows them to pass water and nutrients from one cell to another, and this is what allows water and nutrients to travel from the roots of a plant all the way up into the leaves of a plant. Animal cells don't have a cell wall the way that plant cells do. They just have a simple membrane. But they still need to be able to adhere to one another and kind of form tissues. So how do they do that? Well, outside of the cell membrane, there's this area known as the extracellular matrix, or ECM. And it's full of thick liquid. It's also full of tons of these just fibers that are known as glycoproteins. A glycoprotein is a carbohydrate molecule put together with a protein molecule. The major fiber that you find here is collagen. If you remember from chapter 5, collagen is that spring-shaped, really stretchy molecule. These fibers provide important attachment points for different kinds of enzymes and other molecules. It also kind of ties the neighboring cells together. Some cells inside animal systems adhere really tightly to one another to form these membranes, these barriers inside the body. For instance, you have epithelial tissue that surrounds your heart, and it makes this kind of sac that encloses the heart. The skin on the outside of your body has cells that are really tightly tied together to make a waterproof covering for your body. This is accomplished using special connections called tight junctions. Here we can see some tight junctions. Look at how these cells are stitched together with proteins to form a waterproof barrier. Other cells inside animal systems don't have to be sealed together to make a waterproof covering, but they do need to be very strongly attached to one another. For instance, muscle cells need to be strongly attached to one another so that they can withstand the force of muscle contraction. This can be accomplished with connections known as densosomes. Here we have some densosomes. Now look at what's going on here. We have proteins that extend from the cytoplasm of one cell into the cytoplasm of a neighboring cell. So it makes this kind of protein bridge that stitches these two guys together. Some types of cells need to be able to communicate really, really well and really, really quickly with their neighbors. Think about heart cells, for instance. Heart cells need to be able to communicate with each other rapidly so that the heart can beat as a unit. This can be achieved using things called gap junctions. Gap junctions are protein tubes that extend from the cytoplasm of one cell into the cytoplasm of the neighboring cell. This kind of channel that it forms allows these cells to share things like hormone molecules back and forth very, very rapidly. Gap junctions are made of special proteins known as connexins. Woohoo, we did it, we're done. We went through all those different cellular organelles. Be sure to complete your guided notes for Chapter 6, Part 2, and do bring them to class with you. We're going to practice with these parts quite a bit. Great job. See you in class.